Hey everybody, welcome back. It's a new day, there's no rain, so you can hopefully hear me. And best of all, hopefully you've noticed the camera. That's right, HD baby. I didn't buy a camera, however I borrowed one. So hopefully this should make your viewing experience that much more enjoyable. Anyway, when we left off, we were working on the Yamaha scooter, the Jog. I have good news and I have bad news. The good news is I've ordered a replacement cylinder, piston, rings, and gaskets. But the bad news is it's only the stock bore size. I wanted a big bore kit, I really did. I just couldn't justify the price. Not now anyway. The big bore kit is 3 times the cost of the standard bore, and it just didn't make financial sense at this point to go for the upgrade. Now sometime in the future I will probably put a big bore kit on the scooter, but for now I don't really use it a whole lot anyway. It bugs me to not have it running, but I can't justify the extra cost for 20 extra cc's. So for now, we're just going to go with the standard bore. It's still pretty peppy. It'll do what it needs to do. Now, with the benefit of this HD camera, I figure I can go over the failures in better detail and you'll be able to see them better. Cylinder head looks pretty good except for a few pits. Nothing to worry about on this machine anyway. Piston, it's tiny. It's like the size of a shot glass. Which reminds me, there was an old dirt bike magazine article where they called the either the 50 or the 80 cc shootout the shot glass piston class. Ha ha ha. Lots of carnage. There's the circlip, what's left of it. Still close to its home, but you can see it came out and got squashed between the piston and the cylinder, causing a huge gouge. And the piston broke through both the rings, and a piece of it came around, bounced around here on the top of the piston and lodged itself right here. Also a little bit of debris right in there, probably from this or something like it, scored the piston. And then over here you can see a big chunk of piston ring missing. And it looks like it caught on the exhaust bridge. Right down there. You can see the shiny spot. And everywhere above that is scored. And there's a little shiny spot on the bottom of the exhaust port as well. So I surmised that the circlip came through here. It squeezed the piston ring, caused it to shoot out this way, and if you see the arrow, that's pointed toward the exhaust bridge or exhaust port. So it came up, and as it was coming up, it caught the top of that exhaust port, sheared the ring off, and you can tell that it sheared off in that direction because the ring land is damaged on the bottom. Nothing above, only below. And since there's no scoring on the piston below the ring land, I surmised that it just broke that ring off and shot it out into the exhaust pipe. And out of my worries. So anyway, that helps me sleep at night. So I took to shaking around the exhaust pipe and I couldn't hear anything in there. I'll try it again since there's no rain to muffle any other noises. I hear some stuff bouncing around in there. And I also hear what sounds like water. I don't know if that's water or oil or what. Now, I burnt this pipe out really well before I used it. Just with a blowtorch as best I could. But it sure sounds like there's liquid in there. And it's heavy. It's very heavy. And here's the wrist pin bearing. It's in good shape, no flat spots or anything. It's covered in oil. Technically I should replace that, but for this little scoot, I'm not going to. I'm going to chance it. It's a gamble, so I'm going to give it a shot. And another reason I didn't go with the big bore kit is because this scooter is an 89 model and it has a vertical Minarelli motor. So that means that the cylinder and piston are vertical. I think after 92 or 92 forwards, they changed to a horizontal Minarelli motor. That's where the cylinder's horizontal. And that's the motor they used for years and years and years. And of course, that's the popular motor to modify. So there's all kind of aftermarket parts for that thing. Not so much for the vertical. The aftermarket for the vertical engine is mainly overseas in Europe. It ran longer over there. I'm pretty sure it's an Italian motor anyway. So it was used on a bunch more things than just this scooter. But the long and short of it is, there's not really many aftermarket parts, and you'd be very hard pressed to find any for a Jog. What you can do is, Yamaha also made a scooter called the Zuma, and it was, I think in 2001 and below, they still used the vertical Minarelli motor. So you can find some aftermarket parts for that. That's where I found the big bore kit. From all the research I did and from everything that I could find, which was only 2 concrete references. One guy said, yes, sure enough, you can use a big bore kit, cylinder, piston head from a Zuma, a pre-bug Zuma they called them, on the old Jog motors. Another guy said, be careful, the cylinders and ports and everything look like they match up, but they don't, they're a little off. So I don't know who to believe. The first guy actually owned a Jog 1 year newer than this one and had modified it. I think he actually put a horizontal motor in there. So I'm going to go with his expertise, because at least I know he was in there monkeying around with it. So technically the cylinder and the piston that I ordered are for a Zuma. So we'll see if they work. I hope it does. Otherwise, I'm screwed.